Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you to the Barony Hall for this congregation for the conferment of degrees. Today is a very important day in the university calendar. It's a graduation day, which means it's a day of celebration, not just for our graduates and the family and friends, but indeed for all the staff of the university. And I can't think of a better venue in which to hold that celebration than here in the Barony. In the United States, they refer to these events as commencement sermons, as graduations are meant to signify the beginning of a new journey. It's in this spirit that we also celebrate graduations at the University of Strathclyde. Now, in a few moments, it will be my privilege to cap each of our graduates as their name is called out, and they come on stage to receive their awards. The capping tradition is recognised as a rite of passage and also as a mark of achievement. And once capped, this signifies that they are then part of a community of scholars at the University of Strathclyde that can stretch back over 200 years to the Scottish Enlightenment. So they'll be in very good company. At the close of graduation, we have a reception in our nearby Lord Todd building to which everyone is invited to attend in order to celebrate graduation. We also hope to have an academic procession from the Barony to the Lord Todd, but that will very much depend upon the weather, and we'll get an update on this towards the end of today's proceedings. In the meantime, I do hope that you enjoy graduation, and when you see your loved ones come on stage to receive their awards, by all means, feel free to celebrate. These occasions do not come round very often, so please make the most of it. I now formally declare this congregation for the conferment of degrees open, and I invite our Executive Dean, Professor Tony McGrew, to present our graduates to receive our awards. Thank you.
Vice Principal, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, Olushula Ezekiel Bode Kehendi. Ludek Stefanova. For the degree of Doctor of Education, Linda Mary Proudfoot. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Residential Childcare, Miguel Di Bono. Joe Brown Gibb. In Autism, Chipo Mazara. In Educational Support, Marissa Doherty. Elaine Jameson. In Family Therapy and Systemic Practice, Auda Gudmonstatir. Fiona Margaret Marshall. In Genealogical, Paleographic and Heraldic Studies, Mary Patricia Alvarez Bula. Elizabeth Jane Waln Budd. Mary Bridget Finley. In Safety and Risk Management, Andrew Boba. Sean Edward Broadley. Alexander Ruddiman. Kevin Michael Sharp. In School Leadership and Management, Paul Cassidy. Graham Andrew Downey. Carol Ann Lees. Jacqueline Ann Rafferty. Christopher Thomas. Ellen Margaret Turnbull. Claire Welsh. In Social Work Management, Anne Buchan. For the degree of Master of Education in Autism, Alexia Georgiou. In Education, Justin Crawford Beck. Fiona Bolton Miller. Gillian Much. Philip Neal. Mona Wilson. For the degree of Bachelor Arts in Sociology and Politics, Ross Gordon Alexander Coots. In Arts and Social Sciences, Danielle Johnston. In Childhood Practice, Lawrence Christopher Anderson. Esther Bradley. Gillian Brown. Cheryl Ann Burns. Tracy Cameron. Wilma Corbett. Lorraine Fairley. Fiona Margaret Ferguson. Jane Ann Foray. Maureen Edmund Guinea. Tracy Hamilton. Anne-Marie Jack. Joan Jensen. Sarah Kate Kelly. Trudy Kennedy. Emma Sarah Kerr. Gillian McCarra. Claire Frances McCardle. Leslie McEwen. Stephen Roger Maguire. Claire Rosalind McIntyre. Pamela McLean. Suzanne McMinn. Kirsty McNeil. Carol May McRae. Lindsay Elizabeth Green Miller. Michelle Mulgrew. Helena Murray. Jacqueline Ann O'Donnell. Susan Pate. Linda Patterson. Glenys Margaret Penman. Alison Petrie. Marion Reed. Angie Ross. Anne Shearer. Barbara Steele. Claire Stevenson. Arlene Todd. Angela White. In Community Arts, Ruth Angelina Foster. In Community Education, Heather Dixon. Tamsin Smith. In Primary Education Studies, Rachel Mary Fairbrother. James David Harley. Suzanne McGonigal. Lauren Jane Mackey. Rosanna Elizabeth Maxwell. Hannah Elizabeth Jane Quinn. Amy Leanne Todd. Lindsay Weir. In Education and Social Services, Fiona Bowling. Laura Buchan. Rachel Hamilton. Senga Knox. Lindsay McLeod. Stacey Morgan. In the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Kim Rankin Scott. In the Faculty of Education, David MacDonald. In Social Work, Stacey McCleary. Christopher Strang. Nicola Janet Hume. Victoria Emerald Kennedy. Rebecca Ann Money. Scott Robert Munt. Wilma Clark. In Social Work, Residential Childcare, Shirley Peden. Julie Watson. Harriet Denley Bingham. Hazel Clark. In Applied Social Studies, Laura MacDonald. For the degree of Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Natalie Valerie Gore. Kelsey Kennedy. For the Postgraduate Diploma in Advanced Residential Childcare, Duncan McFarlane O'Neill. Linda Smith. In Autism, Fiona Donoghue. In Social Work, Loriana Caboting Cox. Tara Elizabeth Webster Grieve. Donald Hogg. Catherine Victoria Kane. Laura Mary Bridget McConville. Hazel Margaret Quinn.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and most of all, Strathclyde University's newest graduates, it's my pleasure to once again warmly welcome you to our graduation ceremony here in the Barony Hall. Quite rightly, our graduates have been centre stage, and I'd like to begin my address by congratulating all of you once again on your academic achievements. Your hard work has paid off, and this has now been recognised in front of your families, friends, and the staff who taught and supported you during your time at the university. As I mentioned earlier, graduation is one of the great moments in the university calendar. This is a proud day for you, for your families, and for all of us. Well done indeed. Now, in a short while, at the close of graduation, you may be asked to join the academic procession as this leaves the Barony Hall, provided that the rain stays off. This invitation actually symbolises the fact that you are no longer students, but now full members of the academic community of Strathclyde, a community that now numbers over 170,000 individuals. This is an important day for you all, and I hope that the memory of today is something that will stay with you wherever you go and whatever you choose to do in life. We will keep in touch with you through our alumni team, and would ask that you also keep in touch with us. Let us know what you are up to, what you think about what we are doing at the university, and what you would like to do to help future generations of students. As Strathclyde graduates, you possess one of the most valuable assets that anyone can have in today's world: a capacity to absorb knowledge together with the ability to use this for the benefit of your community and the wider world. Nelson Mandela once said that education was the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Do not underestimate this power or your responsibility to use it well. In Scotland, we are fortunate in having a higher education system which is internationally respected, and as a society, we are quite right to invest in it. However, education itself does not confer rights. The opportunities that education gives each of us also carries with it a responsibility to use what we have learned wisely and for the good of others. A sense of duty should come readily to graduates of this university. As Strathclyders, we only have to look at the achievements of those who have gone before us for inspiration. To John Anderson, our founder, who established this university for the good of mankind. To the world's first oilman, James Paraffin Young. To the missionary and explorer, David Livingstone. To John Logie Baird, who did such pioneering work on the development of television. And in the present day, we look to Dame Eilish Angiolini, a pioneer in Scottish justice, as the country's first female Solicitor General, and later its first female Lord Advocate. And to Sir Tom Hunter, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Scottish history, and a philanthropist who has used his wealth to great benefit of others around the world. There is a saying that we are paid with two types of banknote. One is cash and the other is experience. Always take the experience, as the money will come later. Robert Louis Stevenson put it well when he said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." Now, to reach this point in your lives today, each of you will have travelled a different journey. For some, this path may have been relatively smooth, and for others, this may have been more challenging. However, I am certain of one thing, that none of you would be here without the active support of your friends and family. They have picked you up when you have been down, and they have encouraged you when you have needed it, and they've even been willing to take in your dirty laundry. Now, they are celebrating today not just because you are almost off the payroll, but because you carry with you their hopes, their wishes, and confidence for a successful career. For the last half hour or so, their applause has rung in your ears as each of you in turn crossed the stage to receive your awards. I would now like to invite our graduates to show their appreciation for the support received from their family and friends. I touched earlier on some of the key figures who have helped create and shape the University of Strathclyde. And you can tell a lot about the values of an organisation by looking at its roots. Strathclyde traces its lineage back to 1796, when Anderson brought it into being, the only Scottish university founded during the Age of Enlightenment and embodying the Enlightenment principles of reason, tolerance, and equality. While our roots go back over 200 years, it is also important to note that this year, 2014, we are marking our 50th anniversary of being granted our Royal Charter from Queen Elizabeth II. Anderson's belief in useful learning and his commitment to taking knowledge and using this for the greater good is the motivating force which gives Strathclyde University its momentum today. Indeed, it was our demonstration of that very commitment which helped Strathclyde to win the UK title of the Times Higher Entrepreneurial University of the Year last November and the Times Higher University of the Year the previous year. We are the first Scottish university to have won this prestigious UK title. The judges called our university bold, innovative, and imaginative, attributes which you, our latest graduates, will embody. This can also be seen in our pioneering law clinic, where our students provide advice and representation to people who cannot afford legal advice. Other faculty highlights over the last year include Professor John Curtis from the School of Government and Public Policy, who was elected a Fellow of the British Academy. The Strathclyde Literacy Clinic project was runner-up in the Guardian University Awards. Professor Laura Piacentini of the Law School was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Edinburgh. Graduate Ainsley McCabe of the School of Engineering won the George D. Gray Award presented by the General Teaching Council for Scotland for the best undergraduate thesis in teacher education in Scotland. Dr. Nasser Mir and Dr. Daniela Syme of the School of Social Work and Social Policy and Dr. Matthew Smith of the School of Humanities were named members of the Royal Society of Edinburgh's Young Academy of Scotland. Law student Jacqueline Wall won the Best Contribution by an Individual Student in the Law Works and General Student Pro Bono Awards. Student Alistair McPhee of the School of Education was named Young Gaelic Ambassador of the Year at the Scottish Gaelic Awards. And these are just some of the many contributions being made by our staff and students from across the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. Strathclyde is being increasingly recognised as a place where things happen, and this is why our graduates are so highly prized by companies and organisations looking to recruit the best talent to drive their business forward. Scotland punches above its weight across the board, and it always has. And I know that the future of Scotland will be built on the quality of its graduates. However, regardless of their discipline, all our students learn how to be innovative, enterprising, and creative, and they make a real difference when they go out into the workplace. So wherever your career takes you, always remember that as a Strathclyde graduate, useful learning carries with it responsibilities that go beyond academic scholarship. And finally, let me offer my sincerest congratulations to you all once again on your achievements, and I hope that you enjoy the remainder of what is a very special day. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that now concludes the formal part of today's proceedings, so I hope that you enjoyed the ceremony. I would remind you that following this, we have a reception in nearby Ward Todd, to which everyone is invited to come along and to celebrate graduation. I'm now looking at the back of the hall for my weather indicator, who has given me a thumbs up, which means the rain has gone off, so we will be able to have an academic procession from the Barney to the Ward Todd, and I'll invite Strathclyde's newest graduates to join that academic procession. If I could ask, ladies and gentlemen, could you please remain seated until the academic procession has passed. I now formally declare this congregation for the conferment of degrees closed. Could you please stand?